Okay, now let us consider one more example for an L attributed STD, just to show that how the informations will flow from one part of the parse tree to another part of an parse tree. So this is nowhere related to your previous topic what I have discussed, that is an construction of an syntax tree. So construction of the syntax tree, already I have given an example for a S attributed STD. In the notes it is also there for an L attributed STD. Already you know the concept of an L attributed STD. So whether you are using an L attributed STD or if you are using an S attributed STD, but for that A minus 4 plus C, you will get the same syntax tree. So go through that one for an L attributed. I explained you using an S attributed, same thing using an L attributed STD. So this is one more example, just to show that it is nowhere related to the syntax tree, just to show that how the in case of an L attributed STD, how the information will flow from one part of your parse tree to another part of an parse tree. So let us consider this is the production and this is the semantic rule you are having. So it is almost similar to the example what I gave, like this I gave an example for this. It is almost similar to that only. Based on that only we have written the semantic rule here. So what is your B? Either it will be an integer or the float. Then what will be your C dot inherited? C dot inherited. So I have written I and the S whenever it is an inherited attribute and a synthesis. If you are getting confusion, you can write it clearly. It is SYS synthesis value. This is synthesis value, synthesis value. This is also synthesis value. It is inherited value. This is synthesis value. Like that you can write. It is just inherited or a synthesis value I have written. So based on this concept what I have explained for this grammar, using the same concept only we have written here. So here T and the B are the non-terminals which are having only the synthesized attribute. That is T dot synthesis, B dot synthesis is equal to integer and B dot synthesis is equal to. So synthesis attributes are the attributes which depends on only their value of the child nodes. Okay. And here C dot inherited, it is inheriting this type, that is integer or a float from this one. So that's why it is C dot inherited is nothing but an B dot synthesis value. B dot synthesis value. And what is my T dot synthesis value? It is nothing but a C dot synthesis value. It is nothing but an C dot synthesis value. Okay, how I'll get it? I'll explain that one. Okay. Now this particular grammar is for which purpose? Means in order to declare the array like this, we are having an array of, this will be read as, it is an array of, two-dimensional array it is, array of 3 integers, means you will be having a 2 rows, 3 columns. Okay, so you will be having an 2 rows and 3 column, correct? This is this one, 2 rows, 3 columns. So this will be read as it is an array of 2 arrays of 3 integers. This is how we will read this declaration. So in order to support this one, this grammar is defined. It is almost similar to the whatever the declaration I have explained you. So you go through that. Usually they will give the semantic rules. Okay. No need of worrying for that semantic rules. Now they may ask you to construct the dependency graph and the annotated parse tree. So I have already written, I have taken this example int of 2 of 3. I have already written what this is. What is this? Is it an annotated parse tree? No. What is this? It is just a parse tree. Now I'll write the annotated parse tree for this. Annotated parse tree is a parse tree along with the attributes value. So for T, how many attribute is associated? Only synthesis value. For B, only synthesis value. And for the C, inherited value, synthesis value. And for C, inherited value, synthesis value. C, inherited value, synthesis value. So wherever C is there, there are 2 attributes are associated. One is synthesis value and the other one is an inherited value. But with the B and the T, only the one value will be associated. That is nothing but the synthesis value. That is nothing but an synthesis value. Now I'll check this. So what is B dot synthesis? It is int. Now I am writing what? Annotated parse tree. Okay. So whenever I am using B determine T, what is my B dot synthesis? Int. So I am writing that. So now I am using this T determine BC. When I am using T determine BC, what is my C dot inherited? It is B dot synthesis. What is B dot synthesis? Int. So what is my C dot inherited? It is nothing but the int. Means I am inheriting this. I am inheriting from the left sibling. Inheriting from the left sibling. Now when I am using this C determine this particular production, so what is my C dot inherited? What is my C dot inherited? That is this C. So it is nothing but C dot inherited. That is C is where? Head of the production. So for this, which is the head of the production? This is the head of the production. So what is its inherited value? What is its inherited value? Integer. So integer will be passed over here. Again I am using this particular production. When I am using this particular production, this one. So what is my C1 dot inherited? It is an C inherited. What is the C? Head of the production. Now for this, which is a head? This is the head. What is head inherited value? Integer. So that will be the value of the inherited value in this case. So it is integer. So now I am replacing the C with a epsilon. When C is replaced with a epsilon, what is my synthesis value? It is nothing but a inherited value. So what is my synthesis value? It is nothing but a inherited value. What is my inherited value? Integer. So it is integer. So it is integer. So now when I am applying this particular production, C determine this. What is my synthesis value? It is array of. What is my synthesis value? So it is nothing but an array of num dot value. What is my num dot value? It is 3. Num dot value is 3. Comma. What is C1 synthesis? What is C synthesis? What is C synthesis? Where is the C1? Body of the production. So here it is body of the production. C is a body of the production. It's a synthesis value. What is that? Integer. So it is integer. Okay. Now what is the, when I am using this particular production, C determine this, what is its synthesis value? Its synthesis value is nothing but a array of num dot value. What is the num here? 2. What is the num here? 2. C1 dot synthesis. What is C? Where is the C1? Body of the production. For this C here, body of the production. So synthesis value of that. What is the synthesis value of that one? So it is nothing but an array of 3 of int. We got it. We wanted that only, no? It is array of 2, array of 3 integer. So finally when I am using T determine BC, what is T dash T synthesis? It is C synthesis. What is C synthesis? It is nothing but this one. So it is an array of 2 of array of 3 comma integer. This is also a common question which is asked in many of the question paper. When you go through the previous question paper, so this array declaration is also one of the frequently asked questions. So don't neglect this grammar. Okay. So this is the annotated parse tree what we have constructed. Now I will see how to construct the dependency graph for this one. All of you know that how to construct the dependency graph. So whenever we are having any of the attribute associated with one non-terminal, I will have one node. Here I will create one node. Here I will create one more node. Okay. Now how many attributes are associated with C? 2 attributes. So how many nodes? 2 nodes. 1, 2, 3 is over. So it is 4, 5. Again for this 2 nodes because inherited attribute synthesis. So 6, 7, here also 8, 9. 2 attributes. Then 10. Because one attribute is associated with this. Now here C dot inherited depends on B dot synthesis. So you will have a edge like this. Then your C dot inherited will depends on the inherited value of its head of the production. So this depends on this. So you will have a one edge here. Now this is transferred to here, and C dot synthesis depends on, already I told you how we are getting this. So this one, now this depends on this and this, this depends on this and this depends on this, okay, this depends on this value. So whatever I have written it in a green color, that is a dependency graph. So they may ask you to write the annotated parse tree and the dependency graph for this particular grammar. So no, don't neglect this one. That's why I am covering this also. So because it is one of the frequently asked questions in the previous question paper. So now with this one I'll finish the your syntax directed translation chapter. Next session I'll move on to the intermediate code generator. Next session I'll move on to the intermediate code generator. Okay, thank you. It is the same module, that is 5th module only. 5th module you are having 3 chapters. One is syntax directed translation or STD, and the other one is an intermediate code generator, and one more chapter is code generator. Okay, so there are 3 chapters are there in the 5th module. So I have covered this SDT. Next I will cover that intermediate code generator, ICG. Then I'll move to the, I'll not cover that code generator. That is last phase of your compiler. Okay. Last but one is your intermediate representation. That is a code optimization. Anyhow, code optimization it is not there. Then after finishing this intermediate code generator, I'll move on to your first module and come to your second module. The second module is it's full of theory. So better I'll give some assignment. You just write down those questions. It is more than enough. But module 1 is also very difficult to understand. I'll try to cover maximum how much I can. Okay. So next session I'll start with the next chapter of the 5th module, that is intermediate code generator. Okay, thank you.